3, 2, 1. Hey, I think we're live. We are live. Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Friday night again. The weeks can fly by when you're my age. I tell you. I don't know about you young guys. The weeks fly by for you too. But when you're my age, a week is a blink of an eye. It's going to be a great show. Thanks for tuning in. Let me just quickly introduce the young panel tonight. Bill's back. Fifth time? Sixth time?
Six, I think. Yeah, six.
Wow. Beautiful, beautiful. Mike, thanks for coming on. It's great to meet you.
Yeah, you too, man. For sure.
Chris, thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
Mike,
oh no. Here, just take my phone.
Let me do the housekeeping.
Grandpa Thrashberg.
Let me do the. There you go. Let me do the old keeping of the house. The old like and subscribe. Help us out. It's easy, costs nothing. Well, you got to buy a computer and an internet connection, but like and subscribe, hit the notification bell, all that good stuff. Helps out. And there we go. Let's put that away, and it's back in its box. We're until next week. We'll bring it around again.
Exactly 7 days from now.
Yes, exactly. All right. As usual, we've each got 5. Perhaps more records that we're going to have a great time talking about. I'm excited for everyone's picks. It's always fun. I hope I'm going to learn something new or remember an old classic. We'll see what happens. As always, we'll do 5 rounds. I'll start off. We'll go around in the way of the clock. Me, Bill, Mike, and Chris. And we'll go around.
Sorry, I don't know what
the way of Mike.
Getting vertigo. Go around.
Sorry about that. I'm on my phone, y'all. My laptop isn't working, so sorry about that.
Right, we're all good. We're all good.
Yeah,
we're gonna have a great time. So, are we ready to rock? Anyone having a little drink tonight to celebrate? Whatever we're celebrating, I don't know. But cheers. Hey, Scott, how you doing? All right.
Oh, from the UK.
Hey, yeah, man. So was it 3 a.m. 2 a.m. early, 4 a.m. something like that? Yeah. All right, let's kick it off. I've got something new from the Windy City, Chicago, brand new.
Ooh.
Just came out about a month ago, maybe 2 months ago. Every member of this band has been on this show before. Particularly one of the members, the vocalist, has been on many times. He's an early supporter of the show. We love him. He was kind enough to send me this version of their new LP. It's funny because he did message me and ask me my t-shirt size, and I said XL. So I was just expecting to get a t-shirt at some point in the mail. Last week, the postman rings the bell. He's got this like massive box in his hand. He hands me the box. He's like, "Oh, it's from RT." And I was like, "Man, why is this so heavy?" He sent me like 10 copies of the album. Like, what's going on? No, this is what he sent me. Let's have a look at this because it's amazing. I'm talking about Ready for Death. It's their second album. I'm talking about Ready for Death from Chicago. Let's have a look at this. I think this is like the most impressive thing I've ever showed on this show. Ever.
I'm excited to see the live unboxing video version of it. I've seen pictures and it's impressive as hell.
I don't think anyone's ever going to top this. Here we go. Let's get going. So, first of all, metal box. I've got a new tea tray.
Wow.
Metal box. Ed Repka artwork, looking Death, Megadeth, Ludacris, Nuclear Assault, No Effects, S&M Airlines. Ed Repka, famous artist. How they got him, I don't know, but they did. And that's there you go. That's the box lid.
That's I can feel it from here.
Right.
Yeah.
And then containment notice. I won't read all of it, but I'll just clearance level restricted. Origin facility, Kildare bunker, former Chicago. Protocol, asteroid blast resistant container. That will be this. The unit engineered to withstand seismic shock, thermal flare, EMP surge, and cataclysmic asteroidal impact. sealed following early exposure to contents now classified as cognitively destabilizing. And it's got like a list of all the things that are in the box. And known sequential effects of content exposure: blurred vision, dangerously reduced mental capacity. I feel like this is already happening to me, and I've just touched it.
Just reading it, like an incantation or a witch spell.
Inability to operate vehicles and machinery, accelerated corporeal decay, death. So you've got that, and then you've got like the print, the LP size art print. Man, there you go, and then you've got the patch for your battle vest, if you have a battle vest. Sticker, another sticker, and the record itself. You get the record as well. And,
kind of important.
And a handwritten letter from R.T. White, if you like. So that's how it looks. How does it sound? Man,
it's intense.
It's an intense package. The music is just as intense as the packaging. It really is like this sort of perfect blend of death metal, like death thrash, but it's sort of death metal made by punks, which is the best death metal, right? So it's raw, not too fancy, not complicated, but that real like hardcore feel to it. Some punk, like some anthemic choruses here and there, super catchy riffs. Artie's vocals are amazing. He's always been like a good vocalist, but on this, like, he really sounds like Chuck from Death mixed with John Tardy from Obituary with a little bit of Blaine from The Accused. It just kind of it's like a time capsule taking you back to those early days of like when punk started playing like thrash and death metal, and it's great. I love it. Production is a little bit muddy, but I think it works in their favor. The record's called "Pay with Your Face." it's the name of the album. And also another thing that sets it apart is like a lot of old. This isn't really old school death metal. There are touches of that, but you know, a lot of the lyrics are a bit silly. The lyrics on this are really good. And Artie told me, he said that it's meant. This is, you know, lyrically the album's meant to reflect a world where identity and value are boiled down to biometric data, dystopian present. The erasure of the self, you know, paying. So when I heard "pay with your face," I thought that meant, you know what I mean? Like I thought, you do something bad, someone's going to hit you, and then you. But no, it means actually, you know, face recognition, right?
Yeah.
Face recognition. Pay with your face. If you like death thrash, old school death metal, top notch recommendation. I don't know if these are on the market for sale. These massive boxes. There's 33 of them, I think, out there.
I can't imagine the shipping cost to Japan that.
It was $80, I think.
It was what?
$80, I think.
Ooh. Oh my god!
Thanks, Artie. Yeah. So yeah, I'm happy to get this. But no, that's the regular editions out there, so check it out.
Well, now no one's ever going to buy the regular one after seeing that. Getting the rundown.
Yeah, nobody wants that shit, Mike. Way to rub it in everyone's faces.
Yeah.
We don't want that.
Yeah.
We want your version.
This is my retirement fund. Thanks, Artie.
Boil down the box for.
There you go. That's why I think it's much better than their first record, which I like too. I think they've really upped their game with this. There's a little bit of like this might put people off, but a little bit of like early High on Fire, like a little tiny touch of that kind of like stoner feel, tiny bit, a little bit. Because Dallas was in Pelican, you know, so he's got some interesting riffs too, right?
Yeah.
Not just straight ahead riffs. So, yeah, great record.
Yeah, I haven't heard that one yet. I like the first one, but I haven't gotten around to hearing the second one yet. I gotta pick that up next time I'm at the store.
Yeah, good stuff. Chicago.
Put it out?
It's on a label called Translation Loss, which I think
okay.
It's a guy that works at Relapse. I think it's a kind of site, it's a label that he does. It's one guy that works at Relapse. There you go.
Cool.
That's my first pick. Bill.
Yeah, I gotta get that.
What you got?
All right, my first pick. I'm setting this one up first, specifically just so Chris doesn't do it, because I don't think any of my picks were going to be duplicates. But if there was going to be a duplicate, this is going to be it.
All right.
So setting it up first. So it's a Steve Pfeffer band from Cleveland, one of his 9 million ones. He was in Homo Stupids, The Cowboys, Nine Shocks Terror, Pleasure Leftists, Fashion Pimp, and the Glamazons. So this is the newest thing that he's doing. It's closest in sound to Fashion Pimp. It is Peer Pressure Zombies.
Okay.
So there's the cover art. It's blank on the back. It's definitely a handcrafted situation.
Nice.
Blank. I think the pressing was only 100.
Oh wow.
But they did. I think they're still available. I got this from Total Punk within the last couple of months. It came out end of last year, I want to say.
Ooh.
It's got a printed little insert that actually has some information. Thank God, because otherwise you're just staring at a blank back.
Very cool.
So it's Steve on bass and vocals, someone playing drums, but also drum, like half it's programmed drums, like drum machines, and then there's a guy on guitar and synth. Noah Depew on guitars and synths, and Janet Yellen on drums and bongos. Which it's a weird fucking record. It's not quite as like intentionally like goofy, weird sounding as Fashion Pimp was. Like there's not as many like hurgly gurgly sound effects on the guitar. And it kind of runs the gamut of like the kind of wide breath post-punk new wave, and a little bit of krautrock in there too. Like there's some motoric beats in there. There's 3 instrumental songs out of 10, and 2 of them really sound like they could soundtrack different parts of a Michael Mann movie. Like there's one, it's great. I mean, I love Michael Mann stuff, so that's why the first thing that popped into my head. There's a song called Furniture that's got this weird kind of slinky drum beat and synth part over it, where that's what you would have when, the guys are casing the joint and they're kind of being sneaky around. And then there's a song called Death Dreams, but it's spelled death as in Megadeth and dreams with a Z. That's the kind of escape after the heist is done. It's got the upbeat, kind of faster motoric beat. That's where kind of the krautrock stuff comes in. Like there's 2 songs that really sound like they could have been done by Noy. One has vocals, one doesn't. The third instrumental is just kind of a synth wash thing. It's kind of a waste. It's the only track I would skip if it wasn't an LP. And it would take too much effort to walk up to the player and actually skip it. But so it's mostly pretty bass driven. So there is guitar, there are synths, but he leads with the bass and these kind of weird semi-atonal vocals. It's the same type of thing. Like if you've heard the Homo Stupids or if you've heard the Cowboy, it's the same type of singing where it's atonal, but in a way where you can tell he's put thought into it.
Right.
It's not just like kind of cast off like firsts. It's very well practiced apathy would be the best way to put it. So it came out end of last year. I think it's self-released. Pretty sure it's self-released. And so it's in the middle of it, like it's all these kind of weird sounds and everything, but then in the middle, there's a really sincere and kind of beautiful Ramones cover. They do. It's a long way back to Germany, but it's drum machine, bass, and like shimmering keyboards.
Wow.
It sounds like it would suck, but it rules and it's completely out of place on the rest of the record. But it's beautiful. Like you're listening to it driving around, like feel like the sun is setting, even though it's the nighttime or in the day. It's really good. It's really cool.
Wow.
Peer Pressure Zombies. Total Punk should still have copies. I think they still have some copies on their Bandcamp page. This just kind of came out of nowhere end of last year, and I don't know if they play shows or not. It would be cool if they did, but also it would be it seems like it would be a little bit hard based on just kind of how much stuff is in here.
Right.
But yeah, if you're into any of the stuff he's done like that, like it's kind of just more like a more keyboard heavy Homo Stupids, where it's the kind of songwriting in there. There's a little bit of the Cowboys in there where you'll be just kind of grooving along on a bass line sequence that makes sense, and then there's just a total left turn where it sounds like a wrong note, but then by the second time it comes back around, you're like, oh man, that's a good bass line. Shit. Yeah, I really like it. And this, Chris, this is the one where I'm like, okay, this would be the pick for you.
Chris, is it on your list, Chris?
Even with the Cruelster shirt.
Yes, even
So, yeah, first pick, Peer Pressure Zombies.
Nice.
Hopefully they stick around a little more. Yeah, like I'm very into it. It's a very cool record. Like if you're into even like No Age or stuff like that, I could see being a fan. But it's a little dirtier than that. You know, it doesn't have the Sub Pop sheen. But yeah, I really like it a lot. It's a lot of just kind of weird, goofy shit, but it makes sense, and it's got that, you know, kind of Cleveland Mongoloid feel to it that everyone loves. So,
man, I got a hard to explain record and a record with the Ramones cover on it as well.
Oh shit, yeah. I put this one first because of wanting to make sure, just in case Chris got it, and because I wanted to try to talk about it before a couple of the beers kicked in, because it's just weird. It's hard to describe. Like this, you know, I'll feel like this guy if I try to explain this after 3 beers.
All right.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, highly recommended. It's real good stuff. Peer Pressure Zombies, self-titled, 2014 or 2024.
Okay. All right. Beautiful. All right, Mike. What's your first record? What's your first pick? What you got?
All right, so I'm on my phone, so it might. I think the text is backwards. I don't know, but I'm still going to hold up the record.
That's fine. We'll figure it out. Don't worry.
Yeah, I think you guys figure out. This is not an obscure one. But I'm going to give some context. So when I was 17, I had this record on tape for me. And this tape had Flex Your Head, Crucifix Dehumanization, and this record. And this is not an 80s record, but like this tape I played nonstop, and it's the first Death Threat LP, which is like just like I'm a little insulted that this record isn't on every show. Like, what the fuck, guys? Because it's just like this record has just like it's just consistently great. I remember when I got it. This was when Tragedy. I had the Tragedy Chemical, this Life 7-inch, I think, and then maybe the first LP. I mean, I was pretty young, you know. I was like, I literally heard it. I was on the train to go see Circle Jerk, so like that was kind of the level of like, you know, it's funny in like the pre-YouTube social media days. Like, I don't know about you, Bill, and like Chris, but like it took me a good couple years to find like the good shit. Basically, you know, it was like
absolutely.
Like a ton of like terrible like ska bands and street punk bands, just like awful, horrendous shit. And when I found Tragedy and then this, I was like, oh, this is what I've been looking for. And I know, you know, it's funny. I was first, and also too, like I didn't know who Cora was before this record. I heard the cover of Dear Sirs. I was like, this is fucking amazing. There was, and again, you know, there's no like internet really. I was like, there was hardcore in Tennessee. I just didn't really know, right? So like, it's just like this record, especially like just opened my eyes to a lot. And I love this record because first I did have a reference point because obviously it's Billy from Tragedy doing vocals, right? Like although he doesn't do all the vocals in Tragedy, like I knew his voice. And like everything about this record, and then people will debate, like I feel like when I talk to most of my friends, like when they say, a lot of people say like second 7-inch or Consider It War, but like to me, like this first LP is the best in my humble opinion. And just like the riffs, the accenting on the drums, like I think when people think Todd Burdett, they don't think drums, but the way he accents on this hits so fucking good. The lyrics are so like good and terse and to the point. And just like the riffs are awesome. The songs are short and sweet. I've gotten to know Stan over the years through like just like I booked Signal Lost back in the day. And Stan's awesome. And like I said, I don't dislike the other Death Threat records, but for me this is my favorite. So yeah. And then I did get to I got to see them play 2 sets in 2005 in Austin, and I was really grateful I got to see them. So yeah, they're fucking great.
Mike, we were talking about Japan a little bit right before we came on the show.
That's right.
They came to Japan the year I moved here, or the year after. So I was lucky to catch that DSB Death Threat tour.
Oh my
here
god! Yeah. Oh my god! You got to see DSB. I hate you, Mike. Oh my god! I fucking hate you.
DSB were supposed to play here the one time, at least. I feel like they had a couple canceled.
DSB came and then that one tour, but the best time was when they had like the original vocalists. Like I think they
and that was, I have a story about that. So they, first off, a number of people who were at the Gilman show all said it was like the best show of their life. And I guess after that show, Scott Moore got like Never Slave tattooed on his wrist, and the singer and guitarist of DSB started crying, like it made them so happy. And then they were saying, "I love America." But yeah, that's like one of the bands, and everyone says they were amazing live, and all the footage I've seen, especially at them back in the day, I fucking love DSB. Like, if we're talking about like Japanese bands, like DSB is to me, like DSB is up there with like the 80s bands.
I think they were very important in getting people interested in Japanese hardcore around that time in the States. That they're like that tour, that first tour with the original singer was a big one for.
What do you? So I know. Do you remember anything about that show? Because the second. So I remember when the Considerate War Death Threat 12-inch came out, like I was stunned. I was like, they're still a band? You know, I didn't know. And I think most people just assumed they'd broken up. And then I know they recorded at that Our House studio.
Yeah, that's it.
Where like Levend and Tone recorded, and obviously a ton of Japanese bands recorded while they were on that tour.
Yes. We talked about, I had Todd, like I did an interview thing with Todd about 5 years ago, and he had a lot of good stories about like Our House studio and stuff. So legendary like studio, Our House.
Yeah, legendary. And the photos I've seen from that, there's a photo from that tour of Death Threat with Gauze, and they're all just like in a room chilling, hanging out. Like damn. But and it was really cool just on a personal note, because again, like I was just saying, like in the pre-YouTube, pre-social media age, it was hard to find shit. So like Death Threat, I mean, were they around when I was into punk? Yeah, but I was like seeing terrible ska bands. So like I didn't catch them originally. I saw them at the first Cast and Chaos, and they fucking ripped, and I was just grateful I got to see them there for sure. So yeah, I still think, and it's kind of cool when I talk to younger punks, they're like, "Oh my god, this is awesome! How did I not know this band?" And that would make sense. Like they're not a band that's like talked about with a lot of younger punks. So yeah, I love this record. I still love it.
Well, it's definitely a classic.
Mike, was that Circle Jerk show you were talking about at the House of Blues with GBH? Was it that?
Was at the House of Blues, but it was not with GBH. This was like 2002. I remember that. I remember they played with GBH. I didn't make it to that one. I love GBH. But that was just Circle Jerks.
Okay. I wonder why I wasn't at that one.
Doing your homework, maybe?
I mean, I was definitely
doing homework. Yeah.
All right. All right, Chris. I'm excited to see what Chris's first pick is.
All right. So my first pick is Skull Control, which Touch and Go, 1999. You have Brooks Headley, you have Kim Thompson from Delta 72, you have Chris Thompson from Menorcad. It's just, and then Andy Coronado. It's just, for me, when this came out, well, I didn't really know it, like as Mike was saying, finding all the stuff because of like YouTube and other people. For me, it was like finding about Wrangler Brutes at about 2002, 2003. And it was just like, people like, I wasn't necessarily always the most punk guy. So it was like, people like, the guy from Born Against is in this for like Wrangler Brutes. And I'm like, yeah, but check out the Skull Control stuff for me. And that was just like, for me, it was just the artwork on this with how just dumb these two gorillas look with the blood.
It really is incredible artwork.
That's a good looking record. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just so good. And Chris Thompson's voice, you either love or you hate it. It is just the most nasally thing. I mean, his old bands like Ignition and stuff and whatnot. It just, all the things he's done, I just love it. His play on words, and just the twist and turns on these songs. Just I don't know. Like there's not a bad song on here. Like to me, like there's just not one that like stinks at all. Like Satan is Jesus to me. It's just the dumbest fucking title, and it just makes me laugh. And it just feels like a song where you're driving with flat tires and you have the most annoying vocalist in a good way. You know what I mean? So like, it was just like an opening for me for like Chris Thompson just to find all his stuff, and it just this being like a DC thing and not being like a common DC thing. Like, I just loved it. I don't know. And
yeah, I remember when Touch and Go signed up or like put all their stuff on Bandcamp. I listened to that, and then I remember talking to you about it right after, not making the Chris Thompson connection.
Yeah.
Because like one of the other times I was on, I showed the Coffin Pricks collection, and that's still the only Chris Thompson record that I actually own. And I remember listening to that. I'm like, oh yeah, no, this is crap, and then promptly forgot and never actually got it. But definitely, you've reminded me again.
Bill, does your Coffin Pricks collection include Coffin Prick without the S?
No.
Yeah.
It's still every once in a while. See, like, oh, Coffin Prick is playing a show in California. It's like, wait, no, I got to remember that's the other one. That's the one guy. That's not Jeff and the rest.
It's not the Cavity guy.
I got to get that Skull Control. I got to.
Yeah, that's a great looking record.
Yeah. And it's Deviated Beyond All Means of Capture is the name of the title. And it's just like such a dumb title. And it sounds tough, dumb and tough. And it just, it captures my dumb wrestling brain.
The title does not fit with that cover art at all.
No,
it really doesn't.
No, and like the razor blade on it with a little bit of blood too. It's just like why? You know, it's just I don't know. It's the choices they made on all of it is wrong in the rightest way.
There you go. Yeah. All right.
That's
cool. Wow. The sentence contemporary pop punk from the Bay Area was not a sentence that I was expecting to say anytime soon. I've just said it because that's what my next record is. This was a recommendation from Daniel Zambrano, who is the king of picking out like the best like pop punk and like catchy like power pop stuff on Bandcamp. And Daniel sends me so many links. I need like an extra hard drive to store all the links. I'm thankful for it. I haven't got through them all yet. This is one that the timing was right. So when he sent me the Bandcamp link, I clicked on it. I was like, man, this is like really, really good. And he was kind enough to send me the record. And I'm talking about this band. This is their first LP. It came out this year. It's the Loud Graves.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, new to me. Absolutely new to me. I would not have heard about them if it hadn't been for Daniel, you know, or if someone had shown this record on this show. I wouldn't have found out about them. Ex-members of bands I've never heard of either. Tsunami Bomb. Anyone familiar with Tsunami Bomb? I'm not. The applicant.
They were a Fat Records band.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Yeah, in the early mid 2000s.
Okay. The Applicators, Hammer Bombs. Yeah, I mean, I haven't heard any of those bands. This is on Rad Girlfriend Records, which I think, again, it's like a pop punk.
They're out of Ohio.
Okay, there you go. All right. Man, like I'm a sucker for a huge chorus, you know, guitar hook, a catchy melody, and this record is like full of those. It's why I like to call it's like DIY pop punk, you know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like it's pop punk made by cool people, you know, not frat boys. You know, you can just tell.
Or pedos, because that's what I think.
That too. You know what I mean? That you can just tell, you can just feel it, like just the way the songs are and the lyrics and the whole vibe of the record. It's like it's pop punk made by cool people. Like Iron Chic, I love Iron Chic. There's a couple of songs in here actually remind me of that of Iron Sheik too. They actually on their Bandcamp they do sort of say for fans of, and which is great. But I didn't really hear. I'm not going to even mention that what they said because I didn't hear that at all. I was hearing more like early Big Eyes, who I love Big Eyes. Maybe a little bit of Nature Boys from Kansas, who I love too. Like it's not like a dark kind of Wipers leaning kind of a record, but it's not like happy go lucky saccharine sweet like hey baby I love you, let's go to the beach kind of pop punk. It's kind of somewhere in the middle, but it's definitely leaning more towards that sort of darker edge of pop punk. Huge production, like massive guitars coming out the speakers, and an amazing vocalist like Sabrina Washington is her name. She's an amazing singer. She kind of like swoops over the melodies and the songs. It has an amazing vocalist. I'm not sure if she was in any of those bands that I mentioned or not, or if she's a new member just for Loud Graves. Yeah, she's got that kind of slight voice crack, like a little bit of a husky kind of voice. Man, I've been playing this to death. I love it. Like every song is catchy as hell. And I've learned to not be afraid of saying pop punk. You know, not all pop punk is the same. There's good pop punk and there's bad pop
when you said Bay Area pop punk, like I was immediately going to like the early Lookout stuff.
Well,
like
actually,
Shrine and things like that, thinking that's what it was.
One of
the a little bit of that in there. Is there a little bit of just like that type
no,
of like early Lookout sound?
People think early Green Day, but Crimp Shrine, I still love that shit.
It's raw, right?
Yeah, like very raw. Yeah.
This is kind of not raw. It's actually like it almost has like this indie rock backbone to it in a way. Okay. It's really well produced. Actually, Tilt was one of the bands that they mentioned. I haven't listened to Tilt in a long time, so I didn't sort of beat this band until. But yeah, love it. Really enjoyable record. Catchy as hell.
I haven't thought about Tilt in a very long time.
Me neither. Until I saw that clip, I was like, man, I think I used to like the Tilt records when I had them. I kind of like to listen to them again, but
I think about Tilt constantly. No, I also haven't thought about Tilt.
right. But they were kind of a big deal, right, for a window of time there, right? People were really excited about Tilt, like for a short period of time, like back when would that be? Like late 90s, early 2000s?
I mean, I know Bill and I are the same age. Chris, I wouldn't be surprised if you're kind of. I mean, for us, like the, you know, I know this is Mike. You might laugh at this, but like the Punkorama Epitaph CDs, like that was that was how I found Poison Idea.
Yep. Me too.
So, like I definitely heard Tilt on one of point Yeah, not a band I think a lot about, but yeah, they were on one of those.
Yeah,
you know what? There's probably a certain point in my life where I'd be kind of like scoffing at that. These days I realize how important those compilation stuff like that were for young teenagers and stuff. Right?
Absolutely.
Right.
If you put on Punkorama 1 through 5, I will probably know in the back of my head the sequence of what song comes next. Still just like embedded in there.
Right.
Like, yeah, and a lot of those songs, same thing. It's like, I don't know how many I remember, but like they were pretty crucial, you know, and and Poison Idea, Just to Get Away is
banger of all time.
Is on one of the comps.
It's on 2. See, I even remember which one it's on.
There you go.
Like even today, like I got
Wow, Bill. I thought I was a Punkorama fan, Bill. You really outdone me. You know which one.
I mean, those definitely were like. I mean, I got the new Hives album in the mail today, and I knew of the Hives a couple of years before they broke big because they were on one of the Punkoramas in like 2000. And then a couple of years later, when that whole return of garage rock thing, it's like, oh, that's old hat. I've known them for 2 years.
Well, things move quickly when you're young, you know.
When you're 15 years old.
One day you're into Skanking
2 years is a long time.
One day you're into Skanking Pickle, the next day you're into Rudimentary Peanut. You know, that's how it.
Yeah.
0 to 6.
That's how life goes when you're a young lad, a young woman. All right, Loud Graves. Love this record. One of my favorites of the year so far. Actually, love it. Check it out. You can listen to it on Bandcamp. Loud Graves Bandcamp. Check it out.
Yeah.
All right, Bill, what's your second pick? What you got?
All right, second pick for me. It's a record that just came out about a month ago. It's in a much maligned format. It's a 10-inch.
Oh, okay.
Everyone's favorite. So it is the new record from Forza Bruta.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Echoes de Chicago. Buds of Friedberg and I. Great band. So yeah, this just came out on Warthog Speak and Mendeku Dikak or Discock. Discac. I don't know, Discac. Might just call it.
Wow, this is really Midwest right now.
Yeah. Hey, from the Bass Company or Bass Country. I'll shut up before I get myself in trouble. So it's 4 songs. It's on a 10-inch. It sounds gigantic. It's probably the best thing that they've done. You know, they've been doing it for like 8 or 9 years. I think this is my favorite stuff they've done yet.
I mean, every record of theirs, it's all great.
Yeah, it's all hits. And this one, it's not long. This is just nitpicking for me, but it's not quite long enough to really justify the 10-inch.
Okay.
It could have very easily been a 7-inch, but that's just me being cheap.
Yeah.
One-sided 12-inch with an etching.
That also, then you end up forgetting the etching happens. This needle destroyer. But yeah, so this came out about a month ago. I had to look at the recording credits just because it sounds so fucking massive.
Okay.
Like it's the best sounding punk record I've heard in ages. It's mastered so loud. It's like just up to that line of loudness war stuff, but it pulls back in the right way. It just sounds fucking large. Like it really sounds huge. I cannot overstate how great this record sounds.
Wow.
So it's 4 songs. The third song is the band's self-titled. It is Forza Bruta, and I respect the fact that they waited till like their 4th or 5th record. I think this might be the 5th record, and like 8 or 9 years into the career to put the self-titled song on. Because, you know, you think you do that right at the start. You write it, and then it's like, oh, that's a cool song title. Let's make that the band name. No, they waited. They made you wait, and it was worth it because it's a catchy as hell song.
Nice.
It's yeah, first 2, like it's I suppose I should actually talk about what it sounds like outside of just the production.
Give it a go.
Modern day oi. So big gang choruses, tough guitars, good riffs, good solos, vocals in Spanish. So Echoes de Chicago, Sufrir, Forza Bruta, Lotto a Lotto, 4 songs. My favorite one on here, it's the last song, Lotto a Lotto. It starts off, it's the longest one, so it's over 3 minutes. It's like maybe 3 minutes, 15 seconds, 3.5 minutes. So it's got some room to grow. It starts off with this really cool high on the neck descending riff, and then kind of kicks into the normal kind of power chordy stuff. It keeps running. It's got a couple different parts in it, but then at the end, the outro, well, it comes back to that descending riff, but then it has woe choruses that go up. So it's got the kind of contrast there between the riffs and the woes, because there's a lot of gang vocals on here. There's a lot of woes on it. You know, it's a modern day oi record. That's what's going to happen.
How is the ratio compared to the Beton Arme record? Is it kind of neck and neck?
Oh God, nowhere near as much. Okay. Tastefully deployed, if you will.
Okay.
Tastefully deployed. And throughout the rest of the song, when it's not the choruses, there's this really cool double track on the vocals. It's super subtle, but then once you notice it, you can't unhear it. So it just sounds I don't know, something about it's going back to the mixing and the mastering and the recording. It really is fantastic. Like you wouldn't think double tracked vocals would make that much of a difference because it happens all the time, especially in like bigger bands and shit. But it really sticks out. Like this last song on here, it's great. It's probably the best song that they've done. It's not really much of a sing along past the woes at the end, but there's just so much interesting shit going on with it. And it's much more interesting.
I'm here.
Carry on, Bill. Carry on.
I mean, I'm more or less done on it. Yeah, so it just came out. Should still be able to find it pretty easily on. I'll tell you that.
the hell is going on? What the brain explode?
We lost Mike. Wow. All right.
He said he liked noisy Japanese bands. I didn't.
Yeah, all of a sudden, Mike decided he just really wanted to start his power electronics side project right now, and he wanted to hard launch it. No more of the soft launch crap.
Mhm.
So the last thing I want to say about this, at the record release show for this, it was at this terrible venue that I hate. It's in the West Loop, pretty yuppified, super like ultra gentrified area. It's the neighborhood where Google has their like world headquarters. Okay. So it's at this just shit ass venue. Bunch of rowdy drunk skinheads are around because it's record release show for a big band.
Right.
As Forza Bruta are playing these just these two like the early 20s influencer West Loop girls show up with Labubus, and this was my first introduction to Labubus. So this record will always have a place in my heart for introducing me to Labubus. They spend most of the Forza Bruta set posing the Labubus on stage with the band and bending down to take the pictures and then doing selfies with the Labubus as the bands are playing.
Wow.
And at this point, it's the end of the show. It's a Friday night. None of the drunk skinheads know how to react. So it was just the culture shock of watching the two mixing. And since then, I had no fucking clue what Labubus were before that. Now I can't escape them. I don't know. But yeah, drunk skinheads and Labubus and influencers in their early 20s, all in the fucking West Loop at Dumbass Cobra Lounge. Weird confluence of shit. But yeah, I love this record. I think it's the best thing that they've done. And hopefully they won't be upset about being associated with Labubus next time I talk to them. Beautiful. Forza Bruta, Echoes de Chicago, came out 2025, Warthog Speak. Pick it up. Zap. Hazel, yeah. If I have to know about Labubus, everyone has to know about it.
All right, Mike. What's your next pick?
Oh no, do we lose Mike's audio?
Mike.
Yeah, Mike, we got no audio.
All right, Chris, what's your next pick?
We'll come back to you, Mike.
Yeah, we'll circle back.
All right. My next pick is Brandy Laugh Track. This was on Monophis Press, which is what is that? Corey from Spray Paint, his label when he was down in Texas. Still, this album is like Mares meets Spray Paint to me. This album specifically. The other one on Total Punk, a bit more like upbeat, poppy kind of thing, but this is just like it hits like the proper walls of what Mayers did. And it was recorded with Ben Greenberg, who is in the Men, right? If I remember correctly. And now I think he's in the new lineup for Dazzling Killman, I heard.
Oh, wow.
So, this is just like, just get straight to the point, and it's just right amount and just noise, and I don't know. It just titles like Throw At My Kitchen, You're a Dentist, 2 titles with a slash part 1, 2 titles with a slash part 2. It just dumb shit. Once again, I like dumb things, and this is just perfect. You have a guy from, was it Running? From Chicago was in this because he was, I think so.
Oh, is it Alejandro?
No, one of the other guys.
Okay, Alejandro died a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
But also I forgot to say it was mastered by Mikey Young. So surprise.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's always a good sign.
Quality.
Yeah, but yeah, this one is. It's just great. Like the 2 different versions of the band, like compared to whatnot, but this one it was just hit me at the right time. It's just good, really good. And then I think some of the dudes went on to do During with Corey from Spray Paint. That was just, I don't know, just
What's the name
right
of that?
amount. During?
Dury, I don't know them.
Yeah, that one came out on Chunklet.
Oh,
Think
great!
about-
My favorite.
Mad Dog's favorite guy.
Yeah. So, yep. Yeah, it's like the later era spray paint where it kind of gets distant, kind of sounding, not as like overly urinals ish.
Okay.
So, like how
It's been a long time since I listened to that first
Yeah.
Brandy LP. I if I'm listening to Brandy, I usuly go for the second one, but yeah,
Okay.
I need to go back to that first one. It's been a long time. I do remember liking it when I was listening to it, though.
Mm.
Yeah.
Cool.
Just when you have mares and meat like spray paint, it just like it hits both of my fucking worlds. Like mares, those 7 inches, and that one LP was just phenomenal. Like, and they were so great live. Like, such a great band. Oh, poor Mike.
Yeah. He's having the technical. Technical.
Yeah, hopefully he's able to figure out what's going on. It was
all right.
All
right. Let's keep it moving. Let's keep the tempo up. Okay, this is the record that is going to be hard to explain. Bill, you might be able to assist. We'll see. I know you're the Manchester expert. All right.
No pressure.
No pressure. This is kind of obscure. I can't remember how I came across it. It's probably like a Disc Union recommendation or something. But kind of, I've seen it written as like one of the actual first post-punk full-length LPs. It came out of Manchester. Let me sort of throw a couple of band names out there and see if any of these band names stick. And if they don't, we'll move on. Jerry and the Holograms? Okay.
No.
Okay. Jerry and the Holograms are kind of this weird, like, synth duo, very experimental. And that's one of the bands that's connected with this record. And the other band, like, members crossover is Alberto y los Trios Paranoias, Snuff Rock.
Mm-hmm.
So there's, like, crossover members with those two bands. And Lol Coxhill, legendary, like, British free jazz saxophonist. So, back in, like, 1979, all these guys got together and they made a record. And it's pretty incredible. Let's see if Mike's going to get back on. It's pretty incredible. It came out on Restless Records in the UK in 1982 originally. It got reissued by Cache in 2018. Of course, I'm talking about 48 Chairs and 70% Paranoid. Manchester, very obscure, huge liner notes, which you can see, right? Which I can't read this. I cannot read this. This goes into a lot of history about Manchester in the late 70s, early 80s. I can see Joy Division and John Cooper Clarke names written on these massive liner notes. It goes into a lot of history of Manchester. The liner notes that I can read at the top say it's like the unlikely coupling of British free jazz bastion Lol Coxhill, and don't be afraid of the free jazz thing. He just plays sax on this. And the Saki synth pop Don't Wanna Be's known as Jerry and the Holograms. Incredible incognito full-length album bridges the micro niches of electronic jazz and punk jazz from a band formed in 1979 at an axis where DIY and new wave haven't quite collided. So it's this weird like mix of like, there's a bit of that like hard like Manchester funk, like post-punk funk, like a certain ratio. There's like a little bit of that in there. The guitars sound like the Meat Puppets to me. It's like these two kind of clean, jangly guitars, like intertwined, like through the record. It kind of gets a little bit dancey, like some of that Manchester post-punk did, and some of the post-punk from that era did. The first song is this super catchy, like indie pop song with a woman singing, and she only sings on that one song, and then she doesn't appear on the rest of the record.
Is she in the band? Or
no, I don't know. Like I
can't.
I need someone who can read better than me, so I can
read. You get a magnifying extra a little bit. Bifocals.
yeah, it's like, and then the rest of the songs are kind of like a little bit herky jerky, some instrumentals, some very bleak sung, like spoken sung, like vocals. It's a really unique record. There's one song that has like a kind of carnival atmosphere. It's definitely post punk in that like hard, cold funk, like herky jerky.
Yeah.
Very experimental, but really listenable. It's like really listenable record. I think there's like a version of a John Cooper Clarke song on here, like the Cycle Sluts. I think that was a John Cooper Clarke song. I'm not sure. Jerry and the Holograms are one of Frank Zappa's like favorite bands. I've got to check out Jerry and the Holograms. I should have checked out them before this because I think the record might have made more sense. I can't wait to listen to Jerry and the Holograms. But this is just a really cool like snapshot of like Manchester, like late 70s, early 80s. It's easy to get because it's reissued on Cachet, which is like Finders Keepers. It's a Finders Keepers like sub label. So
Okay.
it's if that these my words sound intriguing to you, definitely check it out. It's like really the roots of like Manchester post punk is on this record.
Yeah, I was thinking you might say Biting Tongues.
Okay.
Were they from Manchester? I think they were either Manchester or Bristol. But it sounded like your description of it made me think of Biting Tongues.
Okay.
I don't know if you're familiar with them. There's a similar kind of thing with like the hard bass and like some skronky horns sometimes. I think. But yeah, it made me think it was going to be that, and I was going to be like, oh yeah, Biting Tongues, and say, oh no.
I think you'll like this. It's kind of, it sounds like it is kind of experimental, and but it's also very listenable and danceable. Actually, yeah,
it sounds awesome.
Yeah,
there was a really cool comp a couple of years ago. I think it was 77 to 80 Manchester punk.
Okay,
they weren't on that one. I don't remember the name from that, but that has a lot of the kind of similar sounding stuff. Like it says it's punk, but it's the wide range. It is the punk and the post-punk. But yeah, they're not on that comp.
Right. I think that Simon says he has a 7-inch, but not this LP. But it's funny because after I hadn't heard of the Cachet label before, so I went in and checked them out. They've got some very interesting sounding releases, like some like old like German like synth pop compilations. And some French synth pop stuff from the 80s, and like an Irish like post punk comp and stuff. So definitely a label to check into.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, that's gonna be the first thing I check out after.
Very obscure, but like thanks to Cachet, and we can get to hear this.
Yeah, definitely sounds something up my alley. I'm gonna check that out.
Yeah, it's cool. It's a cool record. 48 chairs. 70% Paranoid.
Even just the name, the immediate association is just wire, just involving chairs. It's kind of right. The subliminal association there. It's like, all right, I'm going to like this.
Yeah. All right, I made it through the difficult.
Yeah.
There you go.
And not even the one with the Ramones cover.
Oh, we'll get to that. We'll get to that one. All right, Bill. What's your?
Mike. Do we have audio back on?
Oh yes, we missed my mic.
Yeah, don't forget about me, you guys. I'll just if I keep having problems with my phone, I'll just go to my laptop with the grainy image or whatever. So one more thing I want to say, Bill. I'm so with you on the Forza Brutus stuff, and it's funny because like it's like it's this like oi revival, this like street punk revival, which is so fucking funny because like. I don't know, man. I don't know about you guys, but like the Partisans, Blitz, like I never stopped listening to any of that stuff. Like those bands are all fucking great. And like that was the first shit I got into. Like the Violators, the Expelled, all that like No Future Riot City shit I fucking love to this day. So I just think it's funny that like you can tell like certain bands are like going for a shtick. And it's just, especially with some of the oi, like skinhead stuff, it's just kind of like corny and cheesy. But that's my long-winded way of saying, like, Forza Bruta, like, you can tell, like, they just play music they like. There's no shtick. There's no corniness. There's, like, no, like, skinhead drawings, like, holding up a Chicago flag. It's just, like, great, great fucking shit. And every record they've done, I'm like, this is awesome, and it's genuine. The riffs are great. I recently found out there was actually a venue like this shit hole in the wall, like in the early 2000s. Bill, I don't know if you ever went to Rube's in Harvey.
No, I never got out there, but I remember hearing about it all the time.
It was like, man, it's like the Casualties played and stuff. But anyways,
Yeah.
I recently found out
older
that
cousin
Kyle,
used to go there,
the
but I couldn't
bassist
go.
of Fuerza Bruta, that was his spot. And I was like, holy shit, I haven't thought about that place before. Anyways, I love all that stuff, and great pick, Bill, with
Nice.
Fuerza Bruta. So I have one like non-punk record that I'm gonna talk about.
Cool.
And it's a hip hop record, and this involved me going through the list and just seeing like what did Ebro put. So I don't know. I'm not putting the same thing.
You got to before I could.
I don't think anyone else is gonna put this. Ebro has great taste. Ebro got me into a lot of good stuff. So I was into hip hop before I was into punk. From older cousins. Playing me shit like Nas, Gangstar, like Wu-Tang, a lot of the classic 90s, Mobb Deep, a lot of that classic New York 90s stuff.
So it's not going to be Nas?
It's not Nas. It's like late
not
90s
Illmatic?
stuff.
Damn it.
Not Illmatic. You know, and the reason I thought about this record recently is because there have been some TikToks going around that I've seen, and it's a lot of like young people, you know, like Gen Z people being like, all right, you know, millennials, Gen X people, like, how did you guys find out about music, right? And, you know, they say what all of us did, right? It was like the radio and then like MTV. And so when I was in middle school, we got cable for the first time. We didn't have cable. And we also got BET, and there was a show called Rap City after school. And like that, and I've talked to other kids in punk who are like into hip hop, and they found out a lot about shit on Rap City. So on Rap City, I was in 7th grade, and I saw a video, and I was like, "What is this?" So Mos Def and Talib Kweli did this group together called Black Star, and they really did like, I think they did another record label later, but like I don't even know if I'm gonna count that. Like it was like 2 decades later or something. But like this record, to me, is just like fucking classic. I've been listening to it since I was in middle school. The song that they made a video for was the 3rd song, Definition, but that's like the hook from that song. If you hear that song, it'll just get stuck in your head. But that's, to me, not even the best song. Actually, the song after it, Redefinition, which is like a play on the chorus, is really unique. But like this whole album is just, it also really, the thought that I thought was cool was they were like a lot of the flashiness of the late 90s, you know, like rappers with like the sparkling diamonds on the cover. They like totally mocked all that stupid bullshit with the song Hater Players. Yeah, like exactly. Like, I mean, this record too is super smart. Like there's this song Thieves in the Night that references one of my favorite books ever, The Bluest Eye by Toni Morrison. So it's like, it was catchy, it was like conscious. They weren't corny, and it was just fucking catchy. So like hip hop records, if you haven't heard this, like I fucking love this record.
Nice.
That is such an exceptional one. That era, I was also more of a hip hop guy when I was younger than a punk guy initially. Like I would see like the Roots and Common Sense before he became Common, and just all of that stuff. Just that kind of collective. I mean, they're not truly, but you know what I mean. The spiritual nature of all of them.
And this label for like the label that did this was called Raucous Records. Raucous Records doesn't exist anymore, but there have been some articles recently. So Chris, like to tie into what you were saying, like again, pre-internet, no YouTube, no social media, like how do you find out about good hip hop? It was kind of hard, but Raucous was like this label that helped expose kids like me to like more underground shit. And they had, you know, it's funny, like how Bill and I were talking about Punkorama, like Rocket. The different, like, I don't listen to Punkorama anymore, but the Raucous compilations were actually good, and I still listen to. So they did this comp called Lyricist Lounge. I think there was 2 versions of it. There was a comp called Sound Bombing. There's 2 versions of that. So like, I remember getting those CDs, and I'm in like 8th grade, being like, "Oh, this is so fucking cool. What is this? Who is this?" And it just sent me down this like rabbit hole. So
Cool,
yeah,
cool.
I'm with you. That whole kind of array of like the roots and just like good conscious rap, like yeah, for sure.
And even like wasn't like Lyricist Lounge. Like you even had some of like different people in there because like one of my favorite guys, Thurston Howell III, he was also what was it, Big Vic Low of the Low Life family. Like he did like I think he did some ghost writing on that. And
wow, I didn't know that at all.
Yeah. If I remember correctly. I might be wrong, but this is what I feel like I remember reading all the time before. But yeah, just that was such a great era, and up until the first Kanye album, you know what I mean? That was like the end of that era. I feel like of that style. Would you?
Yeah.
Like, I think that's where I dropped off. Strangely,
I mean,
like I didn't.
Yeah, I didn't drop off, but what I will say is I wasn't following current shit as much. And the other thing is like, you also like you kind of had to know somebody, kind of like with punk, right? Because like you'd hear shit on the radio, but it's like, this fucking sucks. And actually, Ebro, who I just mentioned, like I remember he burned me a bunch of shit. So one of the records that he talked about when he was on one of these episodes was "The Shining" by Smith and Wesson, and I fucking love that record. And
that's a classic,
amazing fucking record, and he burned that for me. So it was like, I'm with you, Chris, in the sense that like I like dropped off in the sense of like, oh, I don't care about this bullshit on the radio. But it was through like people like Ebro, like my older cousins, who I don't know if you guys know this. I don't know if you guys know that band Chromatics, but that's like both my first cousins. That's both my first cousins, Adam and Nathaniel.
Wow.
And yeah, so the guitarist / singer Adam, like he was into punk in the 90s. He still likes a lot of it, but there's a bunch of like Los Crudos photos from Minneapolis. You can see him like right in front. But his brother Nathaniel, like he's the one who's like, oh, you gotta check out Nas, you gotta check out Gangstar, like all this shit he was burning. So yeah, dude, I'm with you.
Yeah, and he's from Minneapolis, you said, so a great collective up there too in that era as well.
Yeah, he got me into like Atmosphere and all that shit. Yeah.
Nice. That's a great pick. That was a great pick. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, Chris, what you got?
Continuing.
We did the
yes
with the orders. The orders got screwed up.
Who's next?
Back to me. Because remember
again?
Yeah, because Mike missed his pick.
Back to Bill. There you go.
So Mike, you better be ready because
I'm ready.
I am ready.
I don't have notes like you guys, but I'm ready.
All right, so this next pick of mine, it is one of those records that I looked at the list, or I searched around on the list, and saw that no one had talked about it. I think it's because it's one of those classics where everyone's kind of intimidated by it. No one wants
to. Age of Quarrel, Bill.
Age of Quarrel, obviously. I love all the street justice. But it's a band from the UK. It is debut LP after 3 singles that came out in 1981. Lyrical genius, voice of a generation, guitar hero.
Okay.
Guitar hero. Pretty anonymous rhythm section. But when you see it, you're going to think, man, I know exactly what he's talking about. Lyrical genius. You will never get anything better than this.
The Exploited. Oh my God, I guessed it.
I don't know if you know this, guys, but punk's not dead. And Walter Buchan wanted to warn us about this 45 years ago.
Buchan.
I was trying to throw you off by saying UK instead of Scotland, but Mike, you got it. I am so disappointed in myself. So let me some of my favorite ones from this. I Hate Cop Cars. Mima. Sex and Violence. Sex and Violence. Sex and Violence. Out of Control. 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 I need to consult my notes for this one to make sure I absolutely
hard to
have.
remember.
You need one more out of control.
Ayatollah, you make me sick. Come on. How could you not live your life based on these lyrics on that? So as I was thinking about this, I looked at it, and even I think everyone heard this when they were 15 and thought it ruled. I did, obviously. And then for like 15 years, I was like, oh, this is stupid. This is ridiculous. I didn't listen to it forever. And then like maybe 5 years ago, it came back. I'm like, you know what? Okay. Yeah, this kind of.
When did that come out? Was that 1981? 81.
81, yeah. Yeah, so I came across, I hadn't thought about it. Like I'd listened to the singles collection fairly recently, like within the last 5 years, came back on. I'm like, all right, yeah, there's a lot of good stuff on there.
Oh, God, yeah.
So I was in a store, I was in Rattleback Records. It's a store kind of up north. It's more like new yuppie stuff. Someone had sold a collection full of like original pressing UK stuff. And I saw this. I'm like, all right, $30, cool. I'll do it. Whatever. I'll pay $30 to relive my high school years. And as I'm peeling off the price tag, I see they initially started at 50. Then they discounted it to 40, then down to 30. So if I would have waited, I'm never up in that neighborhood. So maybe if I would have waited 6 months, it would have still been there and I could have got it for 20, but whatever. But yeah, I put it on and I was like, man, this is so stupid, but I'm really, really vibing on it. And my wife was in the room like, Lindsay, have you ever heard this? This song is called Sex and Violence. Listen to it. It's all about sex and violence. Unfortunately, she had heard that song. So my day was ruined when she admitted she knew that song kind of already. But my new fresh revelation from this. So I believe in anarchy. When you really look at the lyrics and listen to them, there's a verse just about Waddy getting the clap. I never fucking realized that in the amount of times I've listened to this when I was young. It always just kind of, over my head, talking about believing in anarchy and still being a punk and being okay with getting drunk. But then, the second verse is all about meeting a bird at a bar and taking her back to the council flat. And then you got her dose. The stuff you learn when you're older with a healthy outlook on life, listening to the poet of Waddy Buchan. It really is something else. It's, I'm going to turn 40 pretty soon. And I feel like my life is better for buying this record again. That's all I can really say.
I think they got better, like when they got a little bit more metally.
You're a Beat the Bastards fan.
Before that, I like that too. But like before that, like Death Before Dishonor.
Yes.
With Maggie.
Now we're talking, Mike.
Yeah, I was gonna say when I revisit this now as an older gent, I like the not quite so blindingly fast songs better because I hear all the hi-hat.
Right.
Drummers fucking like I never thought about the rhythm section on this. Like even though Big John Duncan, who is most of my affection of Big John is based on that old Facebook profile that someone made that was just called The Fat Guitarist from the Exploited about 10 years ago. That was just jokes that were just go back and look in the Facebook archives and look up The Fat Guitarist from the Exploited. But like he's great. He's got the ultimate look. He's got those cool ass sunglasses and the non-mohawk where he's just amazing. Sides shaved. And he's just, he's Big John Duncan. But the anonymous rhythm section in this fucking kills it. Like always, the hi-hat on the drums and then the super high bass in the mix. Like the record sounds perfect. And there's actually you take away Waddy's amazing poet level lyrics, and you still have a very good album. Or it's not even very good. It fucking rules. I take it back. I like the slower stuff better on this the older I get. I've been listening to this the last couple of weeks after coming across it. It's the first pressing of it for, I guess $30 is probably what it's worth. I mean, it's not like it's uncommon. They pressed a bunch of them. But yeah, it's one of those things I never thought I'd be back to listening to The Exploited as I'm almost 40.
I mean, it's just classic.
But here I am.
Classic stuff. I like my favorite Exploited song is a B-side from the Dead Cities 7-inch. Hitler's in the Charts Again.
Oh yeah, the Neutrals cover of that was amazing.
Like that's just
It's a great song too. It's a great song on its own. But
and like you're saying, the rhythm section is like it's quite not complex, but they're good musicians. You know, they're not.
They were tight as hell. Like I'm amazed listening back to it after playing in bands for the last 15 years. Like shit, man, that's good.
Well, that's the thing, though. When we were kids and we were all told anyone can play in a punk band, it's easy. And then you kind of start getting these records by like the Subhumans and it's like, Jesus Christ, this is like high level stuff going on. It's like not anybody can play this. It's not that easy.
Yeah, anyone can start a band, but not everyone can play it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the most liberating and best part about punk is that you can do it.
Yeah.
But then you hear it's like, all right, there are levels to this.
Yeah. And it kind of blew my mind, especially GBH. Right, they were so young, but so fucking tight, like right out of the gate. And that's
Mike,
like, how do you get
Mike,
that good?
Now you're talking, Mike. Now we're talking.
How do you get that good right off the bat? That young, right? It's incredible to think about.
So I'm with you, Mike. Like Troops of Tomorrow, Let's Start a War, Horror Epics, like that shit to me is like my favorite exploited shit.
Yeah, same.
There's definitely some of the early singles, like Alternative is fucking catchy, great song. I remember hearing, I don't know, I'll re-listen to Punk's Not Dead, Bill. I just remember
it's better than remember. That's what's weird about it. Like I wrote it off for so long. I'm like, that's fucking stupid.
No, I'll go back and
better than I remembered. I'm so glad I took the risk.
I like the mid '80s kind of thrashy, shit more. But what I will say is, I remember hearing GBH and being like, this is a million times better, and it's like not as monotonous. And to me, like that's in my head, I was like, why would I listen to the Exploit when I can listen to GBH, which is just way fucking better. But I will go back and re-listen to Punk's Not Dead, Bill. So thank you.
It's worth it. I mean, again, you have to listen to the lyrics of Out of Control.
I know the lyrics.
Life on the Dole in the 1980s. It's no fun. No fun.
I was on the Dole in 1980. I know it wasn't fun.
Yeah, life experience.
Actually, no, I'm lying. I was still at school. 83. I was on the Dole.
I hope I broke the seal on people being intimidated talking about the poet laureate, Walter Buchan.
We've had some exploited records on before, but not that one.
That's right. There was someone did put a different exploited record.
Horror Epics has been on twice, I think, because that's a classic.
Oh, twice.
All right, what are we doing now? Is it
Mike?
Back to Mr. Friedberg.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah. All right. I'm gonna go with a New York band that's not the Cro-Mags. Sorry, Bill. But if we're talking about, actually, I have a bootleg, so it's just like a photocopy. But I mean, this is like one of my favorite American hardcore 7-inches ever. I mean, this has got to be like top 3 U.S. hardcore 7-inches, and it's the Antidote 7-inch. I have it as a bootleg. Everything of like minus the sketchy anti-immigrant song, everything about this record is perfect. The riffs are just like flawless. The drumming is amazing. I know it's the dude from the Misfits. I've listened to this record a million times. Right? It's like fast. Arthur Googie, or I don't know how you say it.
Yeah, it's Googie.
Yeah, he played drums on this. Everything about this record is just like, it's super catchy. The riffs are just incredible. Vocals are pissed. It's just ferocious. This to me, like, I would say Antidote, Pick Your King, like Negative Approach. Like, I mean, there's others, Coro, but like Antidote is probably top 3 for me. I haven't made a list recently, but just something about it, man. It's like, it's fast, it's raw, and the riffs are just perfect. So listen to this record a fucking ton. Never fails to disappoint.
Yeah, even if just for that intro to Something Must Be Done, it's worth it. You could just have that on repeat for 7 minutes, and I'd still listen to it.
Yeah, amazing intro.
That collection Radio Raheem did a couple years ago with the live tracks on the end of it, just
that was cool because, again, some of these posthumous, like posthumous, you know, it was like, okay, this Antidote only did, you know, these 8 songs. At least that's what we thought forever.
Excuse you.
Right?
They have other albums. They have Return to Burn.
Oh, excuse me. That's
How
right.
dare you?
How
dare you erase
forget
Shock
about
Rock Antidote?
Return to Burn. That's
canon.
right. Okay. Well, aside from like all that other bullshit, like a lot of us, including me, thought they only had those, you know, those 8 songs, and then I do have that Radio Raheem thing, and it's like, oh, cool. Here's like some live versions, demo versions, some songs that weren't recorded. So I love kind of like when people put out shit like that, like early Agnostic Front demos. That shit is awesome.
Radio Raheem, it's Cooch. Like, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
You know? Everything's like so well done. Like, the attention to detail, everything is top notch. You can't go wrong with any like Radio Raheem, like reissue and archival releases. Nice,
Yeah.
Short and sweet, like the record itself. There you go.
Perfect pick.
All right, back to Chris. Right, Chris, next pick.
Yep. Now we're back on the regular rotation.
Yes, thanks, Bill.
You'd think I was the teacher here.
You basically are.
Apparently, Bill.
All right, Chris, what you got?
So I'm known by many people as the wrestling person. I love pro wrestling. People will ask me stuff. I know way too much useless crap of old stuff, new stuff, wherever it's at. You know, Puerto Rico, Japan, the stuff that was happening in Africa for a bit, Germany. But there's a few different wrestlers who had records. This was like one that I just really had to get. I just searched for it. Terry Funk, the Great Texan.
Nice.
So this is one that was sold in Japan.
Okay.
It's just so good. He doesn't really sing. I don't know if you guys know who Terry Funk is.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever see? Okay, Roadhouse. He was one of the doormen for that. He has a very raspy voice like this. So it's just him talking, like just talk singing. And half of the songs are done by like Jimmy Hart from the Gentrys, Mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart, like songs called "We Hate School," because that's what you want to hear from a 35-year-old man singing about how he hates school, or "We Like to Rock." Just like that simple of a title. Do you know what I mean? Barbara Streisand's Nose, of like just like this weird era. It's just so stupid. It's but like the music behind it is just these wonderful Japanese artists. Like there's a song called Roppongi, and it's just talking about like a lost lover type situation. He had that over there. Situation kind of happen over. He's usually known as a good boy, but not over there. Because the wife was
a over there.
Roppongi is an undesirable area in Tokyo.
Yeah. It seems like something like what's where like a lot of the wrestlers like to hang.
It's where like foreigners who don't want to be too surrounded by too much Japanese stuff go, because there's lots of foreigners.
Yeah,
and
which is amazing to think about, because this came out in 1984.
Man, that came out like in the bubble era where Japan was like super rich, right? So
yeah. So think about how seedy that probably was when he's talking about that.
Yeah.
Yes. But it's so surprisingly, the music behind it is good with how shitty his voice is. I paid way too much for this, but I needed it. It's just so good. Look at this artwork.
The cover alone is worth it.
Yeah,
whatever you paid.
You didn't even see the back. Look at him just looking like a hunk.
Oh damn! Look at that belt buckle.
Paid him by a guitar he doesn't even know how to fucking use.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask, does he play that guitar?
Yes, you can't go wrong with it. It's just, We Hate School. You should look that one up because it's so dumb. It's
I think Jimmy Hart did a good job with it. In what I need to look up right away.
Man, I
Terry
tell you
Funk
what
now.
though, Chris, the comment section was on fire during that.
Yeah.
It was like,
Daniel,
yes.
when you were talking about record, I thought you were going to show Ultramantis Black too. Daniel brought that up.
Yeah.
Oh yes, which he's still such a great wrestler too. And then you have like the crew of the Piss Jeans guys, because about half of those guys, well, I mean, Ultimate Warriors, but they also were trained professional wrestlers too, who wrestled like under a mask and just did like goofy comedy stuff too. So yeah, I thought about that one, but this is like, I needed this one when I found it. I was like, it was required, because hearing those songs, and I love Memphis wrestling. Not everybody loves the Southern stuff, but they did such a good job of like the rock and roll stuff of like using like ZZ Top and like just weird ones that you wouldn't choose, and just making weird music videos and just getting people to come out.
That sounds incredible.
Yeah.
How does it compare to the Macho Man record in terms of just
rap album? That one is a good energy. I like that one. I think that's so much fun.
I was just gonna say, like, Chris, you're the second person to show like a wrestling record. The first person was Brian from Drop Dead, and he showed the Macho Man Randy Savage.
Yeah. Oh, I missed that episode. Dude, that's amazing. The guy from Drop Dead is doing the Macho Man record. Christ, I would not expect that.
Man, I've never seen so many comments about a record. This is a world record for comments.
Yeah, Chris,
one record.
Oh yeah, I don't have any other Anita records.
Yeah, it's all downhill from here.
Yeah. The Bad Street USA one that Daniel's talking about is great too. But I love the Lawler ones as well. I know Lawler is a questionable person, but he was started off as a radio DJ, and he could sing halfway okay compared to some. So,
all right.
And we won't speak of the other one, to quote the Iron Sheik. Fuck the Hulk Hogan forever, right?
Yes. Fuck the Hogan.
Yes.
That's it.
Yeah. He can't answer back now either. So. All right, that was a great pick. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's
okay. I was going to show another obscure Manchester record for my next pick, but something else came up. You'll be happy to hear something else came up, which perfectly ties in with last week's episode, and I'll tell you what those two picks were. So there's two picks from last week. I'm currently obsessed with this band called Kinoko Hotel, and I'm going to send Daniel a bunch of CDs for him sending me the Loud Grave CDs. Daniel, the Kinoko Hotel CDs are on their way. I only found out about this band like 2 weeks ago, and I've made myself bankrupt by like buying any of their. They have 10 studios. I'm talking about Kinoko Hotel. I showed this last week. They're kind of this amazing all-women like indie rock band that does like 60s Japanese pop, 90s J-pop, and garage rock and all sorts of stuff, all blended in, and it's just fucking amazing. I love them. I've been buying every one of their records. This is probably one of the best picture discs I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Cool as hell. Kinoko Hotel. That was my pick last week. Kinoko Hotel was my pick. And then Zach from Spectres blew my mind with his last pick, because he busted out a Takeshi Terauchi album, who is like a psychedelic like surf guitar player from Japan from like the late 60s through the 70s. And I love Takeshi Terauchi. So to see Zach from Pyromania and the Spectres be as a fan too, it was like amazing. So my next pick ties my pick and Zach's pick in absolutely perfectly, because I discovered that the former guitarist of Kinoko Hotel has this like instrumental surf band, and I was like lucky to I lucked out and I found the LP this week. So I'm going to talk about that. I'm talking about the name of the band is amazing. It's Tokyo Killer. Look at that. This amazing like retro artwork. Nice. Beautiful. This is the ex-guitarist of Kinoko Hotel. Three women, one guy. The record's called Tokyo Street Killer. Just this amazing like Tokyo like 60s vibe. 4 or 5 original songs and then just a bunch of covers. It's like surf instrumentals, right? With fuzz guitar, cheap organ. Nothing new is being invented here. It's been done a million times before. But man, I have a hangover this morning, and this record is to blame because I sat up way too late drinking more and more beer to like play this record again and again and again. So it's like they do Surf Party, which is by the Astronauts. They do Rumble. Everybody's done Rumble by Link Ray. They do Miserlou by Dick Dale. Everybody's done that one. They do Penetration by The Pyramid. They do The House of the Rising Sun. They do Ace of Spades by Link Ray. You know, there's nothing new going on here, but just like the energy and the whole vibe of the record is it's so much fun. Just a super, super, super fun record.
When they're doing those covers of songs that have singing, are they doing the vocal lines?
No, it's all instrumental. This record is all like, I mean, surf instrumentals is something. There's hundreds of records, like surf instrumentals.
Yeah.
Is this the best surf instrumental record of all time? No. Do I love it because I love Kinoko Hotel and it's the guitarist of Kinoko Hotel? Yes. And she's an amazing guitarist. Very kind of understated. Just, it's amazing. I love it. Tokyo Killer Street. I'm kind of just obsessed with this whole, like, but Japan has this huge history, actually. I was just thinking about it. I've kind of forgotten about it, actually. Huge history of like mostly girl bands doing like 60s pop and 60s garage. I mean, like the 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah.
But and I was like, I was like, yeah, man, there's so many. Like, and I kind of was remembering like I used to go and see a lot of these bands, and I kind of lost interest. But now I totally become like interested in this kind of style of like 60s style pop and garage punk. Because there's so much of it in Japan and there's like so much to discover. And I always think they put like some kind of spin or add something original to the sound that they're doing. Whatever they do, there's something great about it. So come on, you'd buy that if you saw that.
Yeah, if I saw that in stores.
I have some more information about this, like, which actually this blew my mind. And like one of the girls in this band, there was a band called the Brain Police, late 60s, early 70s, who might be like the first Japanese punk band. They were like a psychedelic acid rock, heavy rock band with super left-wing political lyrics. They were kind of connected to the Red Army, and one of their first record got banned, and their other records are kind of pretty decent, like heavy rock, psychedelic rock, folk. But the bass player of this band, is playing in like a more recent like lineup of that Brain Police band, which kind of blew my mind. I didn't see that one coming, but I'm going to talk about the Brain Police in a couple of weeks because I've got a couple of their records, and Brain Police are cool too. But
nice. That's a cool name, Brain Police.
Yeah, it's taken from it's Frank Zappa, right? Frank Zappa song, apparently.
That definitely sounds like a Zappa line for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
But very, very controversial. They got banned. I mean, their first record got banned back then. But yeah, surf guitar instrumentals. There you go.
Cool.
Tokyo Killer. 2015. This came out, I think. There you go.
Are they still around? Are they still putting stuff out?
So this is their first album. They have like a couple. This is the only one that's on vinyl. So
okay.
I'm just such a maniac. I'm buying like cheap CDs and everything now, which has like this kind of music on. So all right,
cool.
Bill.
All right, pick number 4 for me.
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna stay in the UK for my next one. It's a current band. This is another one. It came out, September? So it came out 4 months ago. Luckily, I actually got to see the record release show for this in London when I was over there on my honeymoon. It is the self-titled 7-inch from Tramadol. It's just absolutely killer, monstrous D-beat. This is the record release version. So it's yellow, different cover. It's got some extra inserts and goodies and such in it. But so it's 4 songs, 4 pretty killer D-beat songs. A little bit longer. It kind of fits in with the Fuerza Bruta thing where there's a little bit more care put into the songwriting. Similar thing where the shortest song is maybe 1.5 minutes and the longest is almost 3 minutes. It sounds fantastic. It's another one where there's, I guess I'll take it back out of the sleeve so it doesn't reflect too much.
There you go.
It's another one where half the half the fun of this is kind of the weird recording. It's another thing like the Fuerza Bruta bit where this one's dirtier sounding, obviously, because it's a D-beat record. But it has this weird bit where any of the kind of high up on the neck guitar stuff that's an accent to a regular riff, in the song is mixed up high like you would expect. But the guitar solos themselves are mixed super low.
Okay.
Like there's actually it's really kind of weird. It takes until the second or third listen to realize there's a guitar solo happening because it's mixed so low. You'll hear the kind of high licks happening. They sound normal. Then there's a break and you'll think, oh, why are they doing this weird instrumental break? Nothing's happening. But then buried in the mix, there's a really cool like shredding guitar solo. So that's in the second and third song. Lyrically, it's pretty, it's a D-beat record. The songs are Easy Targets, Crucifixion, Lucid Dream, Calculated Slaughter. It's good stuff. Yeah, there is also a little bit of, I read on the Bandcamp that they compared themselves to Condominium, which is instant catnip for me because for a while Condominium was the best fucking band going in the world. And I did not think about that at all when I heard it first or when I saw them. Like, this has nothing to do with Condominium. But then after I read that, started hearing some of the bass tone and some of the weird, just like slightly atonal parts. I'm like, oh shit, that's right. There is a little bit of Condominium in this. And Mike Friedberg, as you know, Condominium, best band in the world for 2-3 years there. So anytime anyone brings up Condominium, it's just, yes, okay, I will listen to that and I will probably like it. So there's, outside of that, I get a lot of Blood Crow Butcher vibes from this. Like there's a lot of kind of build-ups with the kind of, not quite drum roll, but kind of the Marshall, like on the first song. The last one, so Lucid Dreams is the last song on this, and it's the longest one. It's kind of the, not quite cliche epic closer, but it also is. So it's got 4, 5, 6 different parts to it. But the last part, it builds up to this almost like Sabbathy boogie breakdown.
Wow.
Where it just has this circular riff where it's kind of like Hole in the Sky. But
wow.
As a D-beat outro, like, so it's not a breakdown, but like anytime I hear that, I just immediately am transported back to watching them play, and just like, because I remember that riff when I saw them. I did not know this band before I saw them.
Question: wasn't that a band that you kind of didn't expect to see? Didn't you go and see another band and they were playing?
Yeah, so I went to see Condor. Condor and the Dogs were the 2 bands that I knew.
Yeah, and
these guys played third, so they played before Condor. And they just ripped the roof off the place. They were the band of the night. Absolutely blown away. Actually, funnily enough, you could tell some people left after them and didn't stick around for Condor.
Really? Wow.
I mean, Condor were great. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, they blew me away. And I was talking to the vocalist for a little bit after the show. I'm just like, holy shit, man. That was amazing. Like, wow. Did not really know anything about them. But yeah, I remember that Lucid Dream song. And it has, again, that kind of Hole in the Sky-ish, kind of boogie-ish breakdown. Or not breakdown, outro. It's not a breakdown. Okay. But I just remember watching the room explode and just people beating the shit out of each other. But everyone's got this massive smile on their face.
Man, Hole in the Sky is one of my favorite Black Sabbath songs. So like I'm intrigued to...
You should check this out. As soon as you get to the last part where it's got the like do 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 do, it just, you immediately start to just bang your head right in that rhythm.
Nice.
And it's, as far as contemporary D-beat goes, this is my favorite at this point. Like, it's one of my favorite records of this year. And yeah, like I didn't know anything about him. Yeah, and when I got home, I looked him up on YouTube, and apparently I had listened to like half of the demo somewhere on YouTube, and it just didn't stick with me. I'm like, okay. But yeah, seeing him live blew me away. So yeah, this is the record release version, so it's limited to 40. So lucky me. Yeah, it's got some extra, it's got some posters and some inserts, some flyers, all like cool handmade stuff. The only bad part about it, the non-limited version where it's just white with color on the rest of it actually looks better. But being the collector scum,
you have that too though, right?
No. Ooh, man, I could have. You know what? I was on vacation. I should have bought both versions.
Splurge.
Yeah.
What's another 10-pound 7-inch when you're halfway across the world?
Skip fish and chips for dinner and buy them.
Yeah, have one less pint at the pub that didn't take cash. It was fucking weird.
Oh, Jesus.
I wanted to use up the last of it. It was
pay with your face. Pay with your face.
God damn it! It's all coming in. Yeah, it was a tramadol. So yeah, this Donor Records. It's the singer's label. I looked them up. They have some other cool stuff out there too.
Cool.
There was a pretty cool death rock band on there whose name I'm completely blanking on.
Okay.
I think their band was from California, so it wasn't. Yeah, it's pretty wide ranging stuff. But
Okay.
they also have a cool YouTube channel where the guy just tapes a bunch of shows around Leeds and London, kind of the total package.
Nice.
Yeah, so the band is split between London and Leeds.
Leeds?
Found that after talking to him. But yeah, Tramadol, self-titled 7-inch, 4 songs, D-beat, killer Sabbath boogie outro, super buried guitar solos. Love it. If you're into any of that sounds good, then I think you will like it.
All right.
Can't recommend it enough. It hasn't been off my turntable for more than a couple days since I got home, and that was at the beginning of May. So, and I don't listen. I'm going to admit, don't listen to as many 7-inches as I should. I'm a bad punk, but
Too much work,
I love it.
Too much work.
A lot of work. A lot of work getting up with you. Knees, man.
Okay.
Yeah, try it off.
Bad for the knees. 7-inch singles, bad for the knees. All right, Mike. What's your next pick? What you got?
All right. So I'm gonna go to Japan,
Oh,
and there's a lot of great Japanese records, obviously,
there are.
but I feel like, I don't know, like some of these comps for me were just like there was classic ones, the
We lose him.
Oh,
No.
he's frozen.
We'll never know what the
We'll
classic.
never know what the. We'll never know what.
Oh,
Let's
wait.
have a wild guess. What's he?
No.
Back to the power.
Briar's back.
Oh.
Well,
No, it's
right.
the garbage disposal.
Yeah. Chris,
Well, we'll come back.
what's your next?
All
pick?
right. Well, Bill went to the UK. Mike went to Japan. I'm going to Ohio.
Nice.
Columbus, Ohio. I have the Gibson brothers here. You have Jeffrey Evans from like 68 Comeback doing all that stuff down in Memphis. Phenomenal stuff. You have Don Howland. You have who did Bass Holes. He did Ego Summit. He did Great Plains. It's just wonderful, simple rock and roll. Big Pine Boogie, Out on Homestead, 88, if I remember correctly. It's just so simple. It feels like it's going to fall apart any second. And just Jeffrey Evans' voice, it's just telling fucking stories. He still tells stories. I saw him at Gonerfest last year, and he's just a fucking hoot. And it's just great. You have songs like, a good one here. Bo Diddley Pulled a Boner. Just these fucking titles,
Highbrow stuff.
Casey Jones. You have like all these just it's so simple, so dumb. Like, I know I keep on coming back to dumb. It's just I like dumb and simple.
People seem to like dumb. It works.
No,
Yeah.
dumb.
Yeah.
I wish I would have had more dumb records now.
We had one.
Yeah.
But it's just so good. So good. And like Columbus just has just a history of so many things coming out of it. I don't know. I love that. Not spending a lot of time there, but everything that comes from it I've just enjoyed. And this is just like such an early thing for it,
Mm-hmm.
You said it came out in 88?
88, yeah. If I remember correctly.
Yeah, completely unfamiliar.
Yeah.
John Peel used to play the Gibson Brothers quite a lot, actually. Back then. Yeah.
I feel like Jeffrey Evans moving down to Memphis, and was John Spencer in like a later era of the band too, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
So, like, it's like with Jeff Evans moving down to Memphis, I feel like he didn't completely influence everything that happened with the Goner people, but you know,
Helping along.
it maybe helped a little. You know, I don't know.
Chris, you mentioned the Great Plains. Is that a band that you would recommend?
Oh yes, absolutely.
Okay.
When you, Ron House, his like I love his vocals. Another person who you either love it or you hate it. Like Thomas Jefferson Slave Apartment, such a great band.
Right.
Like his solo stuff. It's the organ in Great Plains. It takes a minute to get used to,
Okay.
and it's you know early like indie rock stuff that.
Okay.
But his voice is so different that it's off-putting for enough people. You either love it or you hate it.
Okay, I'll check it out. I just remember when he said that I saw a couple of used Great Plains records during the week, and I was wondering about them. So
yeah
maybe I'll
pick
check
them up. Yeah, if they're cheap, pick them up.
All right, gotcha.
Yeah, you mentioning Thomas Jefferson Slave Apartments. I didn't realize until just this week when I was kind of clicking around on Discogs, the drummer of Nervosa's was in them for a while. And that's going back, Chris. Like, was joking with you. I'm like, oh, I'm almost picking this Nervosa's record I bought last week that I haven't listened to, just because I haven't had a chance to actually listen to it yet. But yeah, that's Columbus kind of coming back on that. Yeah,
there you go.
For sure. And all these people like Ron House and like worked at enough record stores like out there. Like it's such a big deal for that area. Like that's such a weird town for records. Like it's sneaky how many people work at record stores and put out some of the best stuff.
Right.
Isn't that where Used Kids is?
Yep. Yeah.
That's used. Yeah, that's them.
Yeah.
And then what is it? Needle Exchange is like I've gotten some great stuff from Ian over there too. So like he's sold me some real gems here. You recently got me a bunch of Sparks albums that I was looking for, and I'm just very happy about that.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, another good shop out there.
Beautiful. All right, my last pick is a compilation album, which I found in the cheap bin, like the 500 yen bin, the $5 bin. God, this record does not belong. This record does not belong in the cheap bins, but there it was. This is the kind of music that I hated back then in the mid 80s, and I have some stories about like one of the bands on this record. It's on the Subway Organization label. We're going back to mid 80s, like UK indie pop. Man, this stuff sounds so good to me as in this day and age. This is the compilation. It's called Surfer in the Subway. I guess the most famous band on this is the Flatmates. They're a pretty well known band. Like they were like the punkest of all these like indie pop, jangly guitars, C86, all that stuff. There was a million bands around in the UK at this time. I didn't like it at the time. I love it now. It's basically punk with jangly guitars. I mean, it's a pop.
Yeah.
Just amazingly crafted like pop songs. You got the groove farm. The Razor Cuts are amazing too. Rodney Allen is on here. Rodney Allen is doing his like Billy Bragg kind of thing. Rodney Allen was the singer of the Blue Aeroplanes. A lot of these bands are from where I grew up. My hometown, Yeovil, Somerset, UK, and Sherborne, Dorset, UK, where I went to school. So I used to kind of go and see this band called the Chesterfields, who are on the record. The Chesterfields, I went to school with two members of the Chesterfields.
Oh.
The drummer, who was like 2 years younger than me, and the guitarist, Mark Barber, who was like a year older than me. We went to school together. And so I used to go and see the Chesterfields all the time. And we're sort of talking about Yeovil, which is where the Mob came from. Everyone knows the Mob. So it's this small town in the like West Country of England, which had a very like vibrant music scene, and a lot of gigs in small villages around Yeovil and Sherborne. Lots of very active people in like the DIY, the indie DIY scene, but there were some overlaps with the punk scene too at that time. So this stuff sounds so good to me now, and all this like references to my hometown. Like there's a song about there's at the train station in the town, like the 1810 to Yeovil Junction, the train station. There's some PG Harvey, like a tentative link to PJ Harvey in this record, because the Chesterfield songs were produced by John Parrish, and John Parrish was the founder of Automatic Delomini, which was the band that PJ Harvey first sang for in like 87. I saw them around this time in like a tiny village pub with PJ Harvey and Automatic Delomini and the Chesterfields and all that kind of stuff. But man, so good. This is like a real great snapshot of all the amazing like indie pop from the UK in 1987. Oh, this is the one that has the Ramones cover on it, by the way.
I was going to ask.
The Flatmates do I Don't Care.
Nice.
In a sort of jangly indie pop kind of way.
That's a hard one to add jangle to.
They do it perfect. I'm surprised you didn't. The Flatmates are like the biggest like band. They didn't put an LP out though. They only put singles out back in the day. But they were kind of quite well known. But maybe just in the UK. I don't know. But perfect pop songs. Pretty like most of the songs are pretty fast. You know, and that you know like these kind of bands like to play pretty fast. Jangly guitars. And there's one little story about this band, the Chesterfields. Like, I used to kind of hang out with them a bit. And the Chesterfields had a woman, and I say woman, she was 17 or 18 at the time, a woman singing for them before they recorded anything. And she was a friend of mine, and called Sarah. And I went to go and see them at this village hall. I had to hitchhike from Yeovil to this village. But on the way, I got attacked by three skinheads in the street, and they kind of roughed me up a little bit, and so I was actually a bit late to see like Sarah's debut gig with the Chesterfields, and I just found it as a CDR only thing with Sarah singing with the Chesterfields, which is amazing because it was like such a short-lived little period. They got rid of her and got another singer in, and then they recorded their records without her. And I loved the Chesterfields with Sarah singing, and unfortunately there's no records with her in the band, which is such a shame. But there is some like weird CDR thing, which is probably like live recordings and like demos and stuff. But
it's good that there's at least something.
It kind of takes me back. I just thinking that I kind of went to school with like these guys, and the Chesterfields got pretty well known. They had records out on like Vinyl Japan and stuff like that, like later on, and they came to Japan a bunch of times, and they were kind of, the Chesterfields kind of got kind of popular too in this like indie pop scene.
I feel like I've definitely heard the name more so than Flatmates. Yeah.
Okay, because the Chesterfields have some albums and a bunch of singles and stuff, and it was just weird. Just kind of brought back a lot of memories of like going to school with like the Chesterfields and like hitchhiking to little villages and stuff like that in the 80s. Good times. But I hated it back then. I was getting the Crucifix and GBH and Discharge. I was like, what is this horrible like jangly pop music? You know, back then.
I was going to say, I was just about to ask you if that was an LP you had back then.
No.
And then you're coming back like, oh wait, no, that would not have been.
No, I would go to these gigs because a lot of because it's like a small town.
Yeah,
a lot of people
show was happening here.
Gigs, right? Yeah, and there was some crossover with the punk scene and stuff, but I wasn't having it. You know, you can imagine Mike, a young man, like getting into Crucifix and GBH, and it's was like very twee, like jangly pop. Didn't get it then, but now I appreciate it very much.
Did you invite the skinheads to the gig?
No, I actually ran away. I was only 17 years old. I was a scared. I was also like, I looked like someone who was like totally. I was an anarcho punk. I had like black vegan slippers on, the big black cargo pants, maybe like a top hat or a bowler hat, like dressed in rags. Classic, like 1985 British anarcho punk. There you go. That's my last pick.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I want to check that out.
All right. Where are we? Bill, last pick, right?
Or no, Mike's fourth.
Mike.
Oh, God, just get Mike.
Yeah, sorry. This is going to be the last check issue.
Yeah.
So I was saying like Japanese comps, and
Yes.
yeah, there's a lot of good ones, and I'm not even saying like
stuck
this
on
is
what was
like,
a classic.
Pardon me?
We got stuck on what was a classic.
Yeah, like what I was saying is like, you know, I'm not going with some 80s record, but what I will say is like just like a lot of 80s punks were, you know, exposed through comps. Like a lot of these crust war comps, like I remember getting like Kontaminat, Damaging Ear Massacre, and I don't know if that was the one, but I don't know if you guys remember like this was like 2003, 2004, you know, there was like all these crust war bands, and then there was a couple, I don't even know there was like Laukaus, there was that band Crew, KRUW, just really catchy, you know, punk that was different than the noisy stuff.
Yeah.
So like I've always, like those comps exposed me. So this comp came out, I think sometime in the early 2010s. It's called the Yatsuva Japanese Noise Cruster Comp. I was asking Mike about Lastly because they're like hands down one of my favorite bands of this genre. So there's Is Turismo, who was like obviously influenced by like Wretched and Italian shit, in addition to, you know, like Gloom. Xionos, you know, who people know. Death Dust Extractor, who are like their own weird ass thing. But I like them. I mean, I think someone's like, this is like the noisiest shit you've ever heard that can't be classified as noise. Like it's still punk. And then to me, Mike, I don't know if you know where Lastly was from. I mean, I'm sure I could just Google it, but I think it was some remote island, some remote place, because on this, I'm looking at the insert, and they have this on their other records too, and it says resentment from under depopulated areas. And like there were things like that phrase on all their records, like under depopulated zone. So my guess is they weren't from Osaka, they were from some kind of obscure place. Yeah. But I fucking love Lastly. They actually did another recording of my favorite song of theirs called Answer. It was the first song on, I think, the first 7-inch. So I really wish Lastly had done more. But yeah, like if you're in a noisy shit, like this comp is really great.
I'm going to say that Lastly were from Tsuyama City, which is where Schizophrenia were from.
Okay.
They have a very thriving scene there because of the members of Schizophrenia. They have like a place where bands play. Homefront played there on their last tour, so it's like it's very cool. They have a very thriving punk scene because of like Schizophrenia, and I think maybe even like one of the Dust Distractor guys lived in that town too. Maybe I want to say, but yeah. Lastly, we're from Tsuyama, which is a small town.
Okay,
yeah,
that would make sense. I always had that, and even though I mainly talk about Lastly, like. Man, Is Turismo, like I saw my cast in Teos in I think 2011, and they fucking killed it, and were just like incredible drumming, just real, like all their records were really good. They were great. So this to me is like, I also feel like a lot of American bands just fucking suck when they try to do this. Like it's like, oh, I'm gonna connect 4 pedals and I'm just gonna turn them all to the right, and it's like, yeah, but you have like no riffs and your songs are boring as fuck. So like, but like, there's something about like whether it's like, you know, all these bands from Osaka or, you know, wherever, and it's just like, this shit is great.
Yeah, they know what they're doing. That's you're right though. Even when it's noisy, you got to write some songs, you know.
You got to have riffs, yeah. And like Lastly, like the song structures, the riffs, like to me, like Lastly does it really, really well. So yeah.
Hey, you know, it's that Yotsuva. It's like it's the 4-leaf clover, right?
Yeah.
And they got that from Moa of Chaos UK, because when Chaos UK came to Japan, he had like this thing, and he had like a 4-leaf clover on his thing. It's kind of one of those minute details that Japanese people pick up on, and that 4-leaf clover is kind of a real punk thing in Japan because of Moa from Chaos UK.
That's crazy. That's so cool. Wow,
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah. They Japanese really pay attention to these very small details that maybe other people don't kind of notice, and so yeah, very cool.
That's an insane detail. Thanks for sharing that. That's sick.
Yeah. 4-leaf clover. That's what it means. Yotsuba is the four-leaf clover, right? Yeah. Is it the last pick of the day from Chris?
No, it's for Bill.
Mine. Yeah.
For Bill.
Jesus, Bill! Keep control.
We'll get there. All right. So my last pick.
All right, go ahead.
It's an accidental tribute pick. In between when I picked this one and today, someone in the band died. But first,
okay.
Before we get to the accidental tribute, this is the intentional side tribute pick. Rest in peace, Bruce Luce. Flipper fucking rules.
That happened like yesterday, right?
Still rules, okay?
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Bruce Luce. Public Flipper Limited. Fuck John Lydon. All right. So my actual pick. So about a year ago, I'm going back to the Midwest for this one. It's an older band, obviously, because someone just died. Well, no, that's not obviously. Young people can die too. Not to get too philosophical there. But I picked this up. This was a blind spot of mine. I picked this record up about a year ago, and it's something that was always a blind spot for me. If I would have heard it when I was 18, 19, 20, when I was just first hearing the guy's big hardcore band, probably wouldn't have thought too much of it. And then just kind of never got to hear it. So if I would have heard it even, when I was 22, 23, a little bit later, would have probably loved it. But for whatever reason, didn't get into this band until I was 38 years old. But it is the 2018 reissue, Third Man of Laughing Hyenas Merry-Go-Round. Picked this up about a year ago, and had almost just filed it away. But then very recently also there was a little book about them that just came out from Steve Miller, the singer of The Fix.
Wow.
So it's not a super thick book. It's, reasonable. I read it in an afternoon in one sitting. It's, sat down 2 hours later, was done. And it goes through their history. And I knew about, the hard drugs and the kind of hard living lifestyle that they all had. And this, it doesn't gloss over it, but it also doesn't glorify it. It just kind of tells it like it is. It's highly recommended. And this is the only record of theirs I actually own. So I've heard the other stuff. I haven't heard, what's the last one? Hard Times?
Yeah.
I haven't heard that one yet.
It's fine.
Yeah, that's kind of it seemed, even just from reading the book, it seemed like most of the good stuff was with the original lineup.
Okay.
I mean, I'll still eventually find it and listen to it. Like, I'm now on the hunt for the rest of their records. But yeah, reading this, it was quick page turner. Finished it in an afternoon, and it made me go back on this one. And yeah, Jim Kimball, the drummer on this, just died 3 days ago, maybe sometime this week. And in my notes that I put down, because I did write down a couple things, this is totally a rhythm section record. It's another one. It's kind of the same thing as The Exploited. It just, the bass and the drums on it are just so fucking tight. And then Brandon on top, he just sounds like a fucking animal. I mean, you think you get the toughness, or you get the toughest of the tough with Negative Approach, but no, it's so much better and more controlled with this. It's mind blowing. Like, you don't know how a human being kind of gets these sounds out of their voice without just not being able to talk for 6 weeks. It's mind blowing. Like, it's so fucking good. It's the first one. So the reissue, it's the Third Man reissue from 2018. It has liner notes from Butch Vig. His paragraph is there. And then Thurston Moore his screed is all of this, and Thurston Moore spends half of it not even talking about the
Talking about
Laughing
himself?
Hyena. He talks about how much he just loved Midwest hardcore for
Okay,
half of it.
okay,
He's
okay.
like, oh, well, you know, my drummer Steve Shelley was in the Crucifix. That's the first half of this.
Okay.
Before he even gets to talking about,
Okay.
oh yeah, Sonic Youth toured with Laughing Hyenas, and they were a great band. So, you know, I like Sonic Youth too. Thurston Moore is just kind of a dolt. Yeah, so the liner notes, like all this shit, that's part of the reason why as soon as I saw that book was available for order, I'm like, all right, cool, yeah. I want to know more about their story. Like, it seems like it would be interesting. And it goes in, you know, a little bit about Larissa being an L7 and John and his negative approach days. So it's a little bit about that, and just, you know, being interested in, you know, music from the Midwest, you know, Midwest punk. That's who I am. That's what I am. You know, I want to know about it. So I'm going to read that book, and then I'm just going to get back into this record. So the original 6-song one is the first LP. It's the same track list as the CD that came out. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Could have ever.
Yes.
Who
What a
would have ever
surprise.
expected Thurston Moore jerking off to his typewriter? You know? But yeah, it's the same track list as the CD from a couple of years later when, you know, Touch and Go was putting the stuff out. So the second LP is kind of like an odds and ends collection of stuff from 88 to 90. So it's all with the original lineup. It's all with Jim Kimball and Kevin Strickland on the bass. Or no, Kevin, that's the name he gave himself. I wrote down the wrong one. Kevin on the bass.
Get rid of the note. Burn the notes.
Yeah, burn the notes, man. Because yeah, him, Larissa, they talk about it in the book. They decided to do the kind of ploy of like, oh, we're gonna take the same last name. So I wrote down the wrong one. So it's Kevin. There go the notes. It fucking rules. I wish I would not have been ignorant to him for as long as I was, but I'm glad I found him.
It's never too late.
Yeah, never too late. Yeah, big birthday party, big scientist, big swampy feel to it.
Yeah.
Super rhythm. It's the rhythm section runs it. You know, the big difference with the birthday party is, and some of that other stuff, you know, not to speak ill of the dead, at least on this album, Larissa is not Roland S. Howard. Doesn't have that kind of shine to it, but the rhythm section kills it. And in my notes that I just so eloquently threw away, I think I just wrote Brannon in all caps with an exclamation point, just because he's fucking John Brannon. What else can you say about it?
Right.
There was a video I saw on YouTube of John singing with Dinosaur Jr. doing one of the songs from this, and it killed it. I don't know if it was recent or if it was a couple of years ago, but yeah, I wish I would have heard it earlier. It's a shame I didn't. Happy I heard it now. Laughing Hyenas, Merry-Go-Round. It's awesome. It's great.
Can't Pray and Lie is my
book
favorite.
is awesome.
Yeah, that one is so great too.
So
I feel like. Sorry.
Okay. Go ahead, Chris. Go ahead.
Okay. I feel like when I was explained, like you know, learning about Laughing Hyenas, it was like negative approach is an animal, and then Laughing Hyenas is an animal that's chained up, trying to get off the fucking leash.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, okay, I'll give that a
You
shot.
should have written the liner notes, not fucking Thurston Moore.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Butch Vig's paragraph is very technical and all that, and like, you know, he's a producer, but yeah, that's better than whatever Thurston Moore wrote. Yeah. I reread the Thurston Moore thing this week. I'm just like, Jesus fucking Christ, how long is this? But, yeah. You summed it up much better than Thurston did. And
yeah, that's all you need. It's like perfect, right?
Yeah.
All right. So is that the last pick of the day, Bill?
That's my last pick.
Okay.
Now it's
We're going back around to Mike again. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
It's a merry-go-round.
Yes, exactly.
Hey.
We're laughing like hyenas.
So this record, hold on, I'm gonna try to fix my camera. This is a record that
That'd be nice.
that I fucking love, and you know, I remember first learning about like New York bands, like early '80s bands, right? Like Agnostic Front, Cause for Alarm, you know, Reagan Youth, all that shit. And I thought like that was New York hardcore punk, right? But then I remember from finding out from, you know, my OGs bands like Life's Blood and like late 80s New York stuff like Absolution and Nausea, and then obviously some of the Revelation bands that I still really like. So like this isn't any of the bands that I just mentioned, but to me, like late 80s, early 90s, like it does not get better than Citizen's Arrest, The Light in the Darkness. I mean, this shit just fucking rips. Of course, like this insane, like this is Freddie Alva, like maybe it says soaked in other blood. The eyes, like this is where like the eyes tattoo, like image comes from that a bunch of people have. Also the fact, just on a side note, before I even talk about this record, the fact that they like still regularly like play DIY shows and like they all seem down to earth. They just played with like a friend's band of mine. Like literally that Freddie Alva guy, I've interacted with him a bunch online. He put out the record. He's like so fucking cool and down to earth. No egos, no bullshit in 1990. And like, that's very much the vibe I get from them. I saw them at Chaos and Chaos in 2011 and they fucking killed it. I would love to see them again. Just like, yeah, obviously the dude isn't jumping around like the crazy, like early, you know, picks. But saw a video of them from, you know, when they played like a month ago and shit sounded awesome. What some people don't know, I'm guessing you guys maybe know, is that Ted Leo dude from Ted Leo and the Pharmacist was the original guitarist of Citizen's Arrest. And he's still into punk. And like, if you see like him shirts, he'll be wearing like a Conflict shirt or like a Blitz shirt with like Ted Leo, which I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. He like still plays with them. Like, I don't know if he plays with them all the time, but like when I saw them in 2011, he was playing with them. When the footage I saw him like of a month ago, like he was playing with them. But yeah, just like seeing Daryl the singer being like, this one goes out to Freddie Alva who put out our 7-inch, and Freddie Alva's just like smiling. It's like a bunch of young punk kids. You know, it's just like the whole vibe again, like ABC No Rio just seemed like basically I mean, as someone who was not there, but just like real like DIY positivity, like as a combating like all the bullshit of the time. And yeah, this record, like the riffs, like the riff to the song A Light in the Darkness has like gotta be like a top 5 riff for me. The lyrics, the riff to Without Peace, I mean, it's ferocious, it's intense, it's fucking fast, the drumming is hard, the riffs are perfect. Like, to me, like, this is hardcore punk and still remains one of my favorites today.
Yeah, Mike Derrick, who's been playing drums in Citizen's Arrest for quite a long time now. He's been on the show like 3 or 4 times.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, he plays in Fright too with Nate Wilson. And we've been trying to get Ted Leo on the show too, so maybe
that would be really cool.
Yeah,
I'd be just really curious to see his picks.
Yeah, right.
Ted was on the last Gang of 4 tour. Ted was playing guitar with them. Yes. He was doing really well. He just killed it. And I may have yelled out, "Play some goddamn Citizen's Arrest," and got no reaction. Except from the people around me who did not care for it. But
right.
Yeah, that band I was doing with Jeff a couple years ago was supposed to play a fest that Citizen's Arrest was also supposed to play, but then we broke up before the fest, and then Citizen's Arrest dropped from the fest. So
something did that happen.
Almost played the Citizen's Arrest in like 2022. Almost.
There you go.
Somebody in the comments said, was Ted Leo with them when you saw them? And he was. And there he is wearing a fucking Blitz Warrior shirt, like just playing with them. And I was like, this is so cool. Like, and one of the things that I've realized is like, what matters is like, you know, I don't care. You know, I used to automatically like respect like the OGs of punk, like, man, so-and-so has been around for so many years. And it's like, yeah, that person's a piece of shit. Like, that doesn't really.
Then you follow John Joseph on Instagram and get blocked.
I mean, I did get blocked by John Joseph.
Let's not spend any time talking about that horrible excuse for
Yeah. So like, and it's clear that like a lot of those people just like went off the deep end. And I'm not even just talking about shitty politics. Like people that I looked up to, people in Chicago who just ended up being like total pieces of shit people. But what I've kind of come to realize is that what matters from punk, however old you are, is like you're taking the ideals with you and applying them to your life, regardless of how many shows you go to. I recently reconnected. Bill, I don't know if you remember that band Reaction from Chicago. Like I've reconnected with Manny, the guitarist, and he's like, I want to start coming around again. But like he was like, yeah, punk is still a part of me. Like even though I don't go to a ton of shows, right? And like,
yeah, it's always with you, right? It's in
and like Ted Leo's a fucking example of that. Like, dude is like, you know, like that's really cool. Like, I'm not really into Ted Leo and the Pharmacist, but like the fact that like he still does this, like just for the love of it, like that is really cool.
Yeah.
The funny thing about that, mentioning the Pharmacists, so the Gang of Four show at the Bottom Lounge was in the beginning of May. So I saw Ted Leo with him, or with Gang of Four, and then a couple weeks later, Hammered Hulls was in town.
Okay.
A new band with Brendan Canty and Alec Mackay, and they had the drummer from Ted Leo and the Pharmacist playing drums. So I was like, shit, I saw half of the Pharmacist in unrelated punk bands. It's like, you guys are still with it.
Oh, and one more thing I want to say before I forget, not related to Citizens Press, Mike. I actually have been re-listening to one of your picks. I was like just reviewing some old episode. That The War Goes On, especially that first LP, is so fucking catchy. Like, and you know what's funny is if you ask me what's my favorite like Danish record of like the early 2000s, it's hands down No Hope for the Kids.
Right.
Some people are like, that's what the fuck, it's Andy Peterson's Army. For me, it's that No Hope for the Kids LP. And I remember, and then I was literally on a run today listening to The War Goes On. I was like, why haven't I listened to this like every day? Like,
it's amazing, right?
It's so fucking catchy. And I think I maybe like heard it once and then just in the chaos of my busy life forgot about it. And I'm like, especially as someone who loves No Hope for the Kids, I'm like, this is just perfect.
Yeah, they have a new album out. I haven't heard it yet. I haven't seen it in any.
I saw that. I got it. I mean, I'm just curious to hear it, right? Like, yeah,
like the second album isn't quite as good as the first one, so I'm curious about what the third one's like. But the second one's good, but that first album is like all time. It's an absolute classic.
Yeah, Bill and Chris, I don't know if you've heard it, but to me, like I said, like I love No Hope for the Kids, and I was kind of bummed, like, oh, they, you know, they're like, I don't expect a band to cater to my taste, but like I was kind of bummed that some of those members never did a band in the similar vein. But like to me, that's the closest thing, and it's just really catchy and really fucking good. So, on a non-citizens arrest related note,
no, it's cool. The conversation can go anywhere that we want it to go. There's no boundaries.
Oh, that's right. You did
Chris, what's your last pick of the day?
My last pick of the day is a split tape.
Oh, nice.
Ooh.
It is Boo Hiss and Yuasa Acid. So Boo Hiss is Heather from like the Hussy, Heather the Jerk, Proud Parents, and the Baby Tyler band. And her Josh, who was originally from Columbus, and his band was called Ghost Beef. And it's what they're doing. Like, so Heather has like probably one of the best voices around. Like, she just constructs like the best pop songs, like just garagey pop songs, and that's what she like, you know, she's great at. And Josh is just, I've become like a really good component. Like, I didn't know how their voices would work together, and it kind of has like an early, a little bit Ty Segall feel, like the early albums of that, which I really enjoyed. And they do a cover of Yuasa Seed's, which song is it here? Marjorie, which it just, they gave it like such a different feel, because like on the other side with USC, this is a guy named Doug Busen, who's originally from Kentucky, moved up to Minneapolis. But what he does for sound is very sonically Ohio. Like it feels very Jim Shepard of like V3. Everybody, I feel like, says there's a Guided by Voices feel, but there is just a good pop element in it too. But like what he sounds vocally kind of feels a little bit like his tone, what Country Teasers tries to do to feel like Southern.
Okay.
But he you know, it's sincere because it's actually his voice. You know what I mean? Like, not to say Country Teasers isn't, you know what I mean? Like, but it's not emulation. But this tape is just so fun. Like on the USS, he has a song called "We Are the Frogs," and it's about the frogs from Milwaukee. So there's just enough like things he's using, like little, you know, like tape splices of like tracks and whatnot. And it just works so well on just this tape. Like two artists who maybe are not necessarily doing the same thing, but they like each other so much and they're kind of challenging each other on the tape. And they could have gone easy and just did like 2 of their songs and then 1 cover, but both of them have like 7 tracks on the sides. So it's just a really solid tape. So this came out this year on Cavity Creeps Records, which is Josh's label. And it's great. It's really good. And like the people who know about it are loving it. So I don't know. Like
everyone's heard about it.
Yep, there we go.
Yeah, you're selling it to the world.
Buy it now before.
You also see it has another album out that just came. Like it's like the Encyclopedia Britannica to Hell, I think is the name or something like that. Might be getting it wrong. It's something of that nature.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's also worth checking out. He is in the last year he's put out like 4 or 5 things, and it's just he's great.
Nice.
Prolific.
Yeah, definitely prolific in these last few years.
There we have it, man. Yeah. That was a great time. Did you have a good time? I had a good time.
That was fucking awesome.
I've got to say, like, the comments was blowing up tonight. Sometimes the comments is a bit quiet, but a lot of comments.
Yeah.
Which is, you know, it's everyone's show, interactive. That's great to see.
Daniel, thanks for the recommendations. Like, I'm definitely gonna check out Frustration, and it's just cool. I actually this is cool having never done this. Like, people just saying stuff, sharing their experience. This is really dope. So this was awesome, Mike. Thanks for inviting me.
It's always a good time. Before I sign off, I'm going to do a little cheeky teaser just to see if Bill knows this record. It was my other Manchester record that I was going to show. It's this one. It's the Teardrops. This record, I'm going to say one sentence and then like we'll sign off. This record has the original bass player of The Fall and the original bass player of the Buzzcocks playing on it.
Holy shit.
That bombshell. If you want to know more, send me an email. Send me a fax.
Tune in next week. That's going to be one of the picks.
Or maybe we'll talk about it after the show. Bill might be interested in this, but
absolutely.
It got ousted by a modern band from Tokyo playing surf guitar. So there you go. Everybody, thanks for tuning in. As always, thanks for everyone who took time to watch, to come on, to make comments, show their records, get the records ready. It was a great time. We 4 are going to kind of do the after show party. There's going to be nibbles and snacks and beers after the show.
Talk about records.
Yes. There is a show next week. There is.
Ooh.
I can't announce it yet because I have no idea who's going to be on it yet. But there is going to be a show next Friday. As usual, 10 p.m. Eastern. What's that in Mountain Time, Chris?
Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, exactly. Right, everybody, have a great weekend. Take care of yourselves. And as always, as we like to say at the end of the show, stay healthy and stay clean.
Mhm.